Dean Legge and Ethan Birch here for Dog Post. Ethan, Georgia's practiced for 7 days now, which is a full week. They've been in full pads here for a couple of days. People want to always know what you've seen so far. So for the week, where is Georgia at, comparatively speaking, to the beginning of the week?
I would say everybody's starting to look, a little bit more comfortable out there. At least there's a lot of actual intensity. Some of the things you don't see in the first couple of days, now that they're in full pads, you actually get to see a little bit more competition. The other day we got to see the Oklahoma drill, which was, it would be a pretty awesome thing to see. I mean, it is pretty crazy out there. A lot of people jumping around. It's probably one of the most exciting you'd see Mark Richt in a practice. He gets very into it. Always a chance to see something new. Like last year, you get to see J.J. Green basically running over the top of a pile. You get to see guys like Nick Chubb and Sony Michel get out there and do things like that. But it was good. Things are starting to really light up around here, and it's getting hotter every day.
Yeah, it's 90. It's almost 100 degrees in Athens, which is pretty hot for Athens in August. It's been earlier in the week. It was in the 70s. I think they started the week in the 70s, which is relatively cool for this part of the country.
Today, it's like you said on the message board at the beginning of the day, or actually on Twitter. It's a good day to see who really wants to be a dog.
Yeah, it's easy to go out there and run around. I think the big thing is it's not the first day of pads and it's not the last day.
Right.
It's sort of the middle where you get to see who's doing what. Now today we didn't see a ton, but I think the big thing that I am taking away is it does look like Bryce Ramsey is sort of the backup. The number 2 looks like Keith Marshall looks fine, but maybe not unbelievable. Hearing plenty of good things on Nick Chubb and Sony Michel.
Well, you see a few guys that are out there in green, basically, from what I've noticed. You've got, the originals, Chris Conley, Justin Scott Wesley. Obviously, Shatil Fentang was, he's been in green for the past couple of days, but today he was actually practicing, moving around, doing some stuff. Ramik Wilson, of course, still out, not wearing green, but not dressed in pads or a helmet either. Ryan Rankin was also out today. And then finally, Jay Rome, a guy that we talked about, earlier. He's kind of been in and out with that foot injury, but he was, over there in the sand pit kind of swinging a hammer. So obviously, he's in fine. He's over there working out, staying in shape, things like that. The foot, though, we have no idea right now.
Well, the other thing, too, is, the person I think who's improved the most, bizarrely, that I noticed was Justin Scott Wesley, mainly because that first day was bad. And, now he's starting to look more and more in sync.
Yeah, yesterday I talked to, obviously one of his position group teammates and Michael Bennett, and I also talked to Bryce Ramsey, and both of those guys said, he's just come a long way since the first day. And, Michael Bennett is a guy who has had to do that before. It's all about comfort. And, once he noticed the first and second day that he's able to start doing some of those things he could originally do again, he just looks a lot better out there.
Well, anyhow, I think globally, if you're Georgia, everything is basically the same as when they started practice, which is a good thing. And I think these next 7 days will be sort of how you judge how this camp has gone. Of course, that will be the end of camp, but no major injuries further, and Georgia will be okay. They can see the starting line, which is the finishing line in this case.
Yeah, you talk about the injuries right now. Nothing to me has changed. Other than Ramik Wilson not practicing the past couple of days, but yesterday Mark Richt said there's nothing to worry about. Should be playing against Clemson, so I just wouldn't worry about it if I were anybody else.
Okay, if you're watching this on YouTube, you should go over to dogpost.com and check out all the coverage, footage, videos, photos, and opinion that we've had over the last week. I don't know how many stories, but probably about 80. And I don't know how many photos, but probably close to 1,000. So check out dogpost.com. And with that, for Ethan Birch, this is Dean Legge signing off in Athens.